In this step, we're going to be talking about the right-hand sidebar. There are a ton of great buttons in here that look pretty, but do you really know what they do? We're going to cover the most important ones, the ones I use the most, and ones that may interest you, particularly if you are a stock or Forex trader. Let's take a look at the right-hand sidebar. The very top are our watch lists. Note that all of these expand out. When I click this, it's going to show me a ton of information. You all know that I do trade crypto, which is why I have a watch list. And this watch list has all of the coins that are available on the Bitcoin market on Binance. The reason I have this is because I was able to import this, or import, I don't know why I said import, but import this list. Let me show you where this is. Poobah Crypto Services is a fantastic company that has tons of tools. Originally, I made the Poobah 1 scanner and it was a spreadsheet, but the developer Drungle OG, which is not his real name by birth, it is his online handle, but he made it so much better, and it is now a web-based application. So you go down to the bottom of the page and you'll note that there are various different markets to look at and check volatility and price action. That's really what it's for. But if you click the drop down arrow, you'll notice that it says TradingView. To export a TradingView watch list, select an exchange. I'll choose Binance, and I want to look at all of the Ethereum market pairings. Click Generate. And now you can see down here that I have downloaded all of the Ethereum pairs. I can go back to TradingView, and now I want to import a list. Here is the Binance Ethereum watch list. You'll note that I also have a Bitcoin and USDT one. You can do as much as you want. It's free to do. It costs you nothing to get this information, so enjoy. So I'm going to click Open, and now I have all of the Ethereum pairs here. The reason why this is so nice is because if I were to go to the exchange and find all of the market pairs and adding them one by one, it is a huge pain. Don't waste your time. So even though we're looking at Forex right now, for crypto traders, this is a dream come true, but understand that you are only able to import watch lists with a specific subscription to TradingView, which we're going to talk about in the last section. In my watch lists, I can do a couple of things. I can rename my watch list. I can export the lists, especially if it's a custom one. I can clear it and get rid of everything. I can also sort my lists. And what this means is with my paid subscription to TradingView, I can add these bookmarks. I'm getting ahead of myself though. The easiest thing to do is create a new list. And this is my TradingView 101 list. And the easiest way to, sorry, I got way ahead of myself. Woo! The easiest way to add a ticker here is just to type it in the symbol. And if you don't know what it may be, like I don't know what Home Depot is, but if I type in Home Depot, HD, because I want to watch Home Depot. If I type in NBC, let's see if I get First National Bank Holding Company. That is not what I was looking for, but it's okay. But maybe I trade on other markets like the, let's see, what is this? The German markets. There we go. So then I can have this as well. So there are lots of different things that you can pull from. There are lots and lots of different markets. We talked about this before in the first step, when we looked at the very first thing for typing in a ticker or a trading pair. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this list because I'm not going to use it. Yes. And now we're going to this BTC watch list because of all these tabs that I have. So you note that some are green, some are yellow and red and blue, and They're that color for a reason. I've color coded them because of specific things I see happening with these charts. So this is also because of the indicator that I use for trading. So, and I just want to point this out that Forex traders and stock traders, I just want you to see this and see what you're missing out on right now. You can call it crypto a scam or whatever, but there's good money to be made in crypto. Just saying. So what I can do is, as I find charts that are very interesting and charts that are just raging and ones I want to keep an eye on, I can click to the left of it and I can select a color, and different colors will have different meanings for you. But as you saw up here, I can view all of the tokens that are on my red list. And this is great. I'm glad I have this. So note this pair is red and this pair is red. That means that this market is offline. These tokens, these trading pairs rather, have been delisted from the exchange. So to get rid of them, just click. Bye-bye, bye-bye. So let's talk a little bit about what we're seeing here in the watch list. If I click this 3-button drop-down menu, I'll be able to view a lot of different information. Because I'm dealing with crypto, these are 24-hour markets, so extended hours is not really going to be useful to me. However, if I were looking at the stock market, then it would be very important. I'll build a stock market list in just a second, but I want to keep moving through here. The change with crypto, or rather, let me just go bit by bit. So we have our symbol, we have the last recorded price, we have the change over the last 24-hour period, and the change represented in a percentage from the opening price. And crypto markets reset at GMT 0 hours. And then the volume traded within that period. So there's a lot of information that's useful. And crypto, this isn't so useful, but you can see here that I can sort by all of these different values. So if I quickly want to see which coins are raging, which charts are doing really well right now, well, I can just click here, bada boom. I can get to these charts quickest. Or if I want to sort by price, I want to find charts that have a higher price, so that way they're a little bit more stable. Crypto is a little bit different because they're different markets. So just because the last price is a little bit higher doesn't actually mean it's more valuable or higher in price than some of these other tokens. But let's make a new list so that way you can see how stocks work with the extended hours. Okay, here are tickers for the New York Stock Exchange. So the markets are open, they're live, even though it's nighttime for me in Japan. Obviously the markets are moving, but we can see gaps, and all of you that trade stocks are well aware of this, but we can see information about the extended hours price, meaning the price that happened pre-open. One more thing I'd like to show you is that here at the bottom is a lower section that's hidden. This is the details page that's going to show me a lot of information depending on the chart that I'm viewing. Right now I'm looking at Visa. It's letting me know all the information about it. People buying orders, letting me know the days range, 52-week range, it's quite high. There's tons of stuff, tons of metrics to know, as well as technicals. And this right here is the TradingView widget gauge. This is useful for several reasons, because at a glance you can see how are the oscillators like relative strength index, RSI, CCI, ADI, or rather the ADX, momentum indicators, all that stuff. How are they performing versus moving averages, and giving a summary based on the time frame. So if you are just learning to trade, you could use this to make your decisions. Sometimes it's actually not that bad. I'm surprised to say that out loud, but it's true. Now, if I were to look at a chart like this one that is brand new, and it's crypto, I'm not going to see all of the other metrics. Now, it will tell me that the same things like the days range and the 52-week range, and the performance in 1 week, it's up 64%, and I still get my technicals, but it's not showing me as extensive of information. Now, if I were to look at USD against the Japanese yen on Oanda, then I'm going to get a similar view here. Now, depending on the exchange, depending on the commodity that you're looking at, you're going to get more information. So it just depends, but that's, again, accessible right here. You just click and drag this up and down. It's letting you know what you're looking at. So if I change to Mana BTC or Mana, depending on where you're from, then I'm able to see all of those metrics, which is useful. Another nice thing about the watch list is that instead of having to click through each one manually, you can press the space bar to quickly cycle through all of the different charts. Note that it will always keep the same time frame. So if you want to change it to something longer, like the 4-hour, just type in 4H. Once it loads, you can zoom in a little bit to get a little bit more definition. And as you scroll through each chart by pressing the space bar, you're going to see the same spacing of the candles, the same time frame. This is a great way to be able to check through and just view charts quicker. The next stop here are our alerts. And I apologize in advance because a lot of my alerts are going to be blurred out. Moon and Papa, why would you do such a thing? Well, to be honest, I actually have a lot of alerts that I use for my signals that I provide on 3Commas, which is the best cryptocurrency trading platform ever. So there are bots that, or rather signals that I send to bots for a subscription, and you can subscribe there, but I'm generating my alerts here from TradingView. So again, I apologize that you can't see pretty much anything. So I hope you understand and you don't get too upset, but I will set this up in such a way that you can see, and we're going to play with these alerts. So first off, we can easily add an alert here, and we can also do it from up here on the upper bar, which we talked about in the first step. And we can also open up the alerts terminal to add an alert. We can sort our alerts, and we can also get more information. And that's where we're going to click now for settings. Right now, I'm looking at everything, whether it's active or inactive. I'm looking at everything, so I'm not looking at the current symbol and the current resolution. This is important because, well, I'll show you why. Let's go to active, and let's go to current symbol. And all of a sudden, I have no alerts. So let's set up an alert now. I'm going to add a very simple alert. I want to be alerted when the price crosses the 800 Satoshi mark. This can happen anytime, and I want it to just show a quick pop-up and let me know. And we're going to click create, and now we will see our new alert. It's letting me know the ticker. It's showing me a visualization of the price here. It's letting me know what that alert is. And once Mana BTC crosses that, which is the message that it's going to send, Mana BTC crossing 800 Satoshis, then it's going to show me a pop-up. And we want to be alerted right when the price crosses 799, which it just did in either direction. Note the context menu is very complex, and there are lots of different things to investigate. We're not going to get into what makes a good alert, but we're just going to leave it for now. Now, this is going to continue running because of the way it's set up every time. I can either choose only once, or I can pause my alert. So I'm going to stop it. It's gone, which is nice, but we can actually see it because right now we have visibility set to active. So we can see it's still here, and we can enable it if we want to. We can restart it. Here in the alert log, we can see the time that the alert happened for Mana, and it's letting me know all this great stuff. So now let's go into a closer time frame. I want to go to the hourly, and I want to know if the price of, we'll use an indicator now. Now I want my condition to be based on the RSI. If the RSI is greater than 0, then I want to be notified only once. And on this specific time frame, the hourly, well, guess what? This is going to go up here. There's our alert. It's triggered. It's done. Note that we had this set to only once. These different parameters, we talked about this in the first step. If you missed that, go back to the first step and learn more about it. But I just want to show you here that I can have alerts visible for the current symbol on the current resolution. But if I change resolution, now I don't see my 1 hour. Why? Because I'm on the daily. But if I go back to the hourly, then I'll see it. However, if I turn on the daily, it's always going to be visible when I have visibility set to active. Now I'm going to turn off current resolution, but keep current symbol. Now I can see my mana on the daily alert and my mana on the hourly alert. I'm done with these alerts for this example, so I'm going to go ahead and delete these, and I'm perfectly fine deleting them. Goodbye. And let's continue on. Next up is the news section. Depending on the chart that you are checking out, you're going to get more news. For example, if I went to Bitcoin on the USDT market, I'm going to get a lot more information about Bitcoin news. And I can click on one of these links and it's going to take me to these sites. But I can also check out other things like PR Newswire Asia. I can get more specific information about Asian markets. I can go to Stock Chase to get information about stocks that may be really interesting and valuable according to Stock Chase. But headlines, I mean, I use it sometimes, but not too much. But that's because I'm more actively looking at technical analysis, the drawings that I make with TradingView, rather than the fundamental analysis, looking at the news that's coming out, the buzz. The data window is quite interesting, and it's often underused by people. Let me show you why. When we put in a complex indicator like the trending breakout indicator, we're going to get a lot more information. Notice all of a sudden we could see TBO. Now I'm going to hide this and the volume. And what we're looking at now is in the data window, we're seeing our OHLC, open, high, low, close information, and our change in this period. We're looking at the daily. Now, if I change to the hourly, it's going to show me new information. It's also going to show me information as I go candle by candle, which is very useful. The volume will also change as well. But when I have something complex like the TBO, it's going to give me a whole lot of information. And it's going to change bit by bit, candle by candle, where it may show me more complex things like ones and zeros, binary notifications that are showing me an event has happened. And we are going to keep moving here to the hotlists. These hotlists are very convenient, as you can tell, for stock trading. Let's go ahead and look at this one right here at the top. This is the NASDAQ percent range gainers. There are lots of different markets to be checking out. We're specifically looking at NASDAQ. So we can look at the volume gainers, charts, almost said coins, charts that all of a sudden just have huge spikes in volume. This is a pharmaceutical, so figures. American Airlines just shot up like crazy. There's a huge gap there. So you can get lots of information that's going to help you locate charts that may be raging or charts that may be falling. Good grief, that looks like a nightmare. Oh, that's an even worse nightmare. Sell, get out of that one. Not financial advice, but you can also have multiple watch lists, so that way you can try to find out if there's anything unusual happening or anything that could, potentially be a good setup. So the watch lists, or sorry, the hot lists are very interesting and they're very nice. You can also save your hot list as a watch list, which is very convenient. We just talked about that. Next up is the economic calendar, and this is looking at all sorts of information and it's looking at it all across the board. Note that we have lots of information related to different countries, and this would be particularly useful for Forex trading. Down below, we have the earnings calendar. And if you are someone who likes to trade stocks and you're looking forward to earnings season, then you can keep your eyes here and look out for stocks that may be coming up for their earnings season's report. You can also change your region if you are trading in a different part of the world, which is handy. Let's move on to the next section, my ideas. I have none. To create an idea, what you have to do is you have to find a chart and you write a little something and then you publish it, but not with caps lock on. And then you can you can label it, you can do all this fun stuff, and you publish your idea, and then it will be here in my ideas. I don't publish stuff ever to TradingView. I post it usually to Discord, that's where I live mainly. That's my social networking service of choice, I guess you could say. And then the next things we have here are in regards to the social aspect of TradingView. So public chats are pretty much like a troll box, meaning that lots of people talking about what they think is going to happen with different markets or different things that are cracking and moving. So Forex, people are talking about what they see in the market. Cryptocurrency, people are talking about what they see in the market, yada yada. You can also get private messages here. If you follow people, then you'll get notifications here in the ideas stream. And from here, I can click on these different ideas. I can give it a thumbs up if it seems like a good idea. But this is useful because we can see what other people that we think have good trading sense, what they're looking at to possibly give us ideas about what to look at. And then we have notifications. Notifications could be things like people following you, people giving you access to an indicator, other events like that. Now we're into the interesting part. We have an order panel here. In order to use the order panel, you have to connect to a broker or an exchange that is supported by TradingView. The trading panel is also available down below, and you can see here that there's paper trading available by TradingView. Yes, you can trade with fake money, monopoly money on TradingView while you're learning. 3 Commas also provides paper trading, but if you want to just stick with TradingView, then here you go. You can also connect to Oanda for Forex, TradeStation, and the Saxo group. I'm going to go ahead and close that. It's there if you want it. I'm not going to be using that because I'd rather use a sophisticated smart trade terminal that's going to help me place my entry and my exit in both scenarios, both taking profit and my stop loss at once. And that's 3 Commas in a nutshell, plus bots. Here we have an order book of sorts. So we can place our orders here. We can see the spreads, all that fun stuff. We're not going to mess with this too much. When we are talking about drawings and making drawings and adding lots of different things here, what happens to this is that things can get quite messy, especially if you really love green check marks, like a lot of green check marks. So in order to clean up what you have, you can open up the object tree. So the object tree is great because instead of coming over here to do things, you can easily click on things over here and get the same access tools, like locking things, hiding them, unhiding them, or deleting them. I can even go up here to change the order of things. I can come up here as well to clone copy, just like I can over here in the context menu. But the best thing is making folders, and I can rename my folder by right-clicking here. I'm going to call this my folder of check marks. And I want to put all of my check marks in one folder because I need them in one check mark folder. The nice thing about this is that I can hide all of them at once. For all of you out there that really like to use fib lines, you like to use the GAN box, you like to use pitchforks, you like all this stuff, it can get messy on here, especially if you have lots of other indicators too. That's why the object tree is here. And that's why it's useful to create these folders. That way things can be organized. Things can look normal. They can look sane, I guess you could say, where you can hide things easily and bring them back if you want to. Lastly, we have the Help Center. Now, there are likely questions that I have yet to answer, specific questions to your situation. This is a great place to start. You can open up a support ticket. You can type in things that you want more information on, like pitchforks, and then you can read more about these things here in the help section. I love all of that stuff, particularly being able to manage all of my alerts, playing with my watch lists, and also that object tree. When I learned about those folders too, that blew my mind, being able to categorize and compile everything so that way it's more easily accessible and editable. There's still more in this course. And in the next step, your mind is going to be blown when I show you how to use the screener. Now keep in mind, I'm not going to give you the secret sauce for a couple of different strategies for the screener, particularly for crypto, but you can get access to it for free on thebettertraders.com. Same content that's here on YouTube, except when you're logged into the course portal, you're going to get an extra hidden step. You're going to learn how to use the screener in ways that are going to wow you and show you charts that you didn't even know existed. So you can only get that content plus the free guide of this course and a cheat sheet for all the hotkeys that are the need to know ones, all on the bettertraders.com course portal. Check it out now.